over there because it's too far to go to Poland or Romania. It's just too far. And also men from age 16 to 60 can't leave the country. So I'm blessed. My mom with me here. She just come to visit in January 5th, and she's supposed to go on March 20 back home. But right now, probably she will not do. And
but your mom is here.
yes,
So that is at least one blessing, right?
it's a huge blessing. But sometimes my mom feels so bad because all of them stuck there, and she feel like she's supposed to be there with them. But yes, I'm blessed, and I'm thank you, Lord, to save my mom and be here with me. But the rest of my family there, all my mom's sisters, all my cousins, all my friends, my goddaughter, my father. So it's very hard because they just stuck over there. We need just stop the war and stop Putin, because we're not against Russian people. I have also friends and family in Russia, and some people have part of their family in Russia and part in Ukraine. I can't hate anyone. I can't say it's Russian people, it's Putin. It was too much power for one person in this world, and nobody needs to have power for so many years.
Right.
This
It
is,
makes you go crazy.
I feel
and
he's
and they lose sight of what they're doing in the first place, and boredom. Right now
yes.
you have all this power. What do you do with it? And they were just talking about him this morning. They questioned his Secretary of State as to whether what his Putin state of mind was. Was he really isolated like they were saying he was? And the Secretary of State said that he will follow through with whatever plans Putin wanted, which it just none of it makes any sense. There's just no sense to it whatsoever right now, except to just take something that doesn't belong to Russia, and it's following in the footsteps or repeating the footsteps of what Stalin did.
Exactly. And what I can say, even war has rules. He doesn't follow even rules of the war. They bomb just where regular civilians live. They bomb places where orphans' houses, where hospitals, where just regular people live. And my family all around the city, so it's a different, like we have counties here, so it's a different areas.
It's precincts, right? Isn't
Probably,
it precincts?
yeah. I didn't know how to say this word in English. Yeah,
It's precincts.
Mhm.
So my husband is he minored in international law, and he spent time in Russia previous to 1991. So before that wall came down, but at the time that he was there, he was telling me how at the time some of the Ukrainian precincts started to fight back, meaning they started to change the street names back from Russian
Yes.
to Ukraine, and that was just kind of a sign of the beginning of Ukraine becoming its own nation again.
And I can tell you a little bit also back in the history. Ukraine has a huge roots of thousands of years back. Russia even wasn't exist. Ukraine, if you will go back to history, please spend some time and go and check on Ukrainian history. It was thousands of years back when roots of Ukraine was created. And first diplomat and first constitution was created by Ukrainian people when Russia, Moscow, even not exist. Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, was created in 1882. And my city, I will not maybe tell right now exactly numbers because my mind not working perfectly, but it's like 17th. So if you look back in the history, Ukraine is not Russia. And it was just period of time, like when everybody wants Ukraine, because it's very powerful, mighty land on
Yes.
earth.
Mhm.
And our people is they always fight for their freedom, and they never will give up. We will pay right now very huge price. It will be many deaths, but our people never will give up freedom.
They're fighting.
Because if we will go back on the roots of our relatives who were fighting for this freedom, we have in our genes to fight for our land. Even you see me today, and millions of Ukrainians who went around the globe, they right now united and do whatever they can. Each person do something on the side to help Ukraine. So you can only imagine how powerful and mighty our people. And I know many of my friends who still in the city, they live in subways, under buildings, they hiding in the basements, but they still there. They will try to protect their land as much as they can. And you probably saw already many people, like city people, put together, stay in front of tanks, line of tanks. You just need to understand how spirit strong to Ukrainian peoples. It's in our blood. And what trying, it's a Putin. I want to say again, I never will say hate anyone or we have friends and families in Russia as well, because we are so close. I show you my city right on the border with Russia. I have friends and relatives in Russia as well. I can't hate Russia. It's a Putin. It's just man who probably lose his mind and doing all this. Even when we look, when our soldiers find Russian soldiers and they see they even provide them expired food, which expired in 2015. Can you imagine how they care even about their soldiers? It's just horrible stuff. But our soldiers, it's again showing how mighty and wisely Ukrainian people, when they take Russian soldiers, they let them call their mom and talk with their mom and explain what is going on. So they just killing civilians and they're shooting. They destroyed all our beautiful cities. But it's not first time in history.
Right.
We will be okay. Most we worry about our family, friends, relatives. So I asking everybody, just pray so our people survive in subways, underground. I also ask you, pray for our volunteers in all this time. They going on their car and bringing food and medicaments to other people. But they can lose their life helping others. But I know personally my relatives who do this and my classmates and even my teacher. She was my music teacher. She is volunteering as well. I just want to show you. We are very strong in spirit, but we need help of the world to stop this war. Stand with Ukraine. Do what you can do. First we were asking, close the sky. They're shooting bombs, even bombs what wasn't possible to use. It's
Right.
again against any rules, against any laws. So just pray. I know God knows what's going on, and I bring today this picture to show we are all children of the light. We need to be united, and we need to be understand. It's not only war, Ukraine and Russia. It's about our souls. Right now, everybody open and show what is truly in your soul. Be strong. Push out hate, push out aggression, push out panics. God in charge. He knows, yes, my beautiful country has this huge mission to awaken all world. We all united. It's not, I'm here in Texas. I'm blessed. It was God's plan. So I opened my mouth. I was always scared about my English, my accent, but I open my mouth and I go and talk. I will talk on radio, on TV. We inviting you on Friday. We will be on Sundance Square, 5 to 6:30. It's our time. It will be on the stage. I'm part of Ukrainian folks music group Veselka. We will be singing. We will be singing anthems. How to say anthems?
Anthems, songs of Ukraine.
Ukraine and United States, and it will be prayers. We will bring candles. Please don't bring real candles. We order LED candles. We do all our rallies and meetings peacefully because we are for peace. Please stand with Ukraine.
And this is not new for you. This isn't something that you guys just launched up because the war started. You've been a part of the Ukrainian Culture Club of Dallas for quite a while, and not only do you raise money for your home country, but you have this whole program that raises money to help stop starvation in the United States.
Yes.
Where you live. This is really amazing what you all do. I'm just the 1933 donation is it's something I just want to talk about really quick because I don't, we don't talk about this. I honestly haven't heard them really talk about it on the news, but the history of the Holodomor. And that was 1932 to 1933, and that was Stalin. And when Stalin took Ukraine over, they Holodomor means murder by starvation, and it was the horrendous act of genocide against the Ukrainian people from Stalin, and he took the lives of 10. It's approximated at 7 to 10 million right now. For a while, you couldn't get the actual numbers because they burned everything that was Ukrainian that they possibly could, and they took that history and they destroyed it. And then further on, he also did what's called Russification, which was to destroy it was to destroy your history, your
Yes,
language,
they try, but
your culture. They tried to
yes.
eradicate you completely. His hate for Ukrainian people and culture was it was sick. I mean, we know too he was a very sick man. But this ended in 1933, and so that 1933 is a very significant number for Ukraine. But that Russification, I mean, they took all the Ukrainian intellectuals, writers, scholars, artists, clergies, teachers, arrested and executed them. They took them. They wanted to cripple. Which did cripple your economy for generations.
Yes.
But then it came back, and finally the archives were opened up, and you could at least start to get some of that information back. Again, it's estimated that 7 million remains the consensus, and it was at a point during the famine genocide that it was close to 30,000 Ukrainians dying per day.
Today I bring the picture of my grandma who survived through this. She was born in 1923, so she survived through Holodomor, what you explained. And
Is this her behind
yes,
is this her bakery?
Yes, it's she was working on train station in the buffet. She told me all about this. My grandma was survived through Holodomor, and she survived through the World War II. So from my grandma, I know a lot, and she put huge faith in me. This is why I'm so
She'd be very proud of you. She would be very proud of you, Natalia, because you are doing it. You are doing so much for your country right now and your family. And awareness is key, right? And you're bringing awareness to people. Some people will say stupid things. We've seen it on social media.
yeah,
And they just don't understand, right? It's ignorance, it's lack of education, and to say things such as, well, the Ukraine is known for trafficking, and I don't know if how long you've lived in the United States, but the United States is known for trafficking humans. This is happening every day here in our country. But this is about the good people of Ukraine, and nobody of a nation, no child of God should have to go through this. And Open Door Church here in Burleson is a huge part of missionaries over in Ukraine. I know that some of the missionaries just got back a couple of weeks ago from helping, and they're staying in contact with some of the families there. Do you attend Open Door? Or do you talk to them at all?
I work and I taught Russian language to our missionaries from the Church of Christ on John Jones, and I know personally Denise and Richard, who spend many time in Ukraine, they helping orphans. I also in close contact with Stephen Potters who helping orphans. And today is my message. I'm planning on my own with my husband to adopt a couple of kids from there because it will be more. It was horrible. Right now it will be more because right now many kids lost their parents. And I just asking also if you know a lawyer or some kind of support to help us who wants to adopt kids to help us afterwards.
So you need some lawyers, some pro bono lawyers that will
Yeah.
help with the adoption process of some of these children or to help get them out.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that we can talk to NBC5 about. I know that they're in connection with a family who their surrogate is still in Ukraine and the baby was born prematurely. And so that might be a good place to start as we can reach out to them. I'm sure that they are working with an attorney and some other people to try and get their baby here. And I know that they got the baby transported to a safer hospital, and then they were trying to get the breast milk to them too. So I know that was still a challenge for them as well. They couldn't locate the ambulance that was actually carrying it. So there is so much, but yes, Christina Scherer just said the church is rising up, and that is absolutely true. And the church is rising up in Ukraine.
Yes.
This is part of, it is part of the greatness that you see in the people because they're making their own Molotov cocktails to fight back. They are standing up, and it doesn't seem as though as they're approaching some of these people who are standing up and standing across their street and in the way of these tanks, they're not firing at them. And so it's almost as if some of them have this, they don't want to be there. I would assume that some of these Russian soldiers do not want to be. Their families there.
Exactly.
This was one country at one time, and when Stalin, and just given some history for some people who don't understand or don't know it, when he was wiping out all of the Ukrainian culture and language, everybody speaks pretty much Ukrainian and Russian. The language is very similar, but Ukrainian has a different dialect and has multiple dialects,
I can
right?
even go a little bit back in the history. It's our Ukrainian people created. First, it was called Azbuka. And after Russian Kirill and Methody, they take all the base and change a little bit. So basically, Ukrainian, it was the first language.
And then
after Russian, Kirill and Methody, based on our Azbuka, created alphabet. So we have different letters in Ukrainian language, what not used in, but when you hear us, when you hear the sound, our Ukrainian language closer to Polish,
yes,
than Russian. So yeah.
So it has that mix of that dialect in it.
Yes.
That's the part I could
Yes.
that I could pick up. But it just shows you that when the president of Ukraine speaks, he gives a speech. He'll give a speech in Ukrainian, and then he also gives it in Russian Russian because there were so many people who were born and then raised into being Russian being their first language. Because
for me as well, I show you why I'm sure. My first language is Russian. My second language is Ukrainian, and my third language is English. So for many of us, it is like and I still speak in Russian, and I will never hate anyone who speaks Russian or something. My message is all why I'm going everywhere for peace in the world, in Ukraine, and in every soul on the world, because we don't need to hate anyone. Russian people, not because the president, not all Russian people bad.
Right.
We saw many soldiers who were crying. They have no idea. They lie. So what I can say, war starts from a huge lie. When I saw Putin's speech, it was huge lie about history moments. So he brainwashed too much. And some people who, like you say, lack of education. It's a lot.
It's so funny. They were talking about that actually this morning, and they were talking about how some of these soldiers were going in thinking that they were liberating Ukraine. And that's where they got they got confused when they got there and going, wait a minute, we're not, who are we liberating? These people don't want us here.
Yes.
And so I think that that's to me, hopefully a good sign that these soldiers will, some of them will back off. Some will not, as we know, because they're already brainwashed.
But also yesterday I was on another radio and
Well, hold that
Sure,
thought
sure.
hold that thought first. We're
Mhm.
going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Natalia Hayes.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night, and she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night every Saturday night.
Look,
Miss Dixie,
look.
how you doing? He said, "It's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom."
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys.
Hi,
I just
Mom.
wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
Oh,
I
my
would rather
God.
have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
Hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
Love
girl.
you.
I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities
Bye, Mom. Love
Oh,
you.
Dixie.
Bye. I love you too.
with Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Joco Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give him a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
And welcome back to the second half of Joco Community Radio. We are proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and we are live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen, go to the tuneinjoco.com and download the free app. We also have our app on Android already available, and the iOS will be out soon. So you can just download your app and then go straight there. All of our shows can also be found on any of your favorite podcast platforms, such as Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and Spreaker. You'll need to search for the title of the show name, Not Joco Community Radio. Check out our lineup and more on jococommunityradio.com. Thanks for tuning in. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844-TEX-HELL. That's 844-839-4245.
I bring some pictures I want to show you. You know, some people asking who left. So this is my family and my mom and my son. Blessed to be here. But this is my mom's husband and all his family. And this is my cousin's daughter. So the village where they live, it's right now like everything around destroyed, and we don't have any more connection. So I'm just praying, and I hope they're still alive, but we don't know.
So, Greg, was it Greg who
Yeah.
called me yesterday? How are you related to him?
So Greg's wife, she's from my home city, but she's Russian, but she was living in my city, and when she moved here, she asked me some questions. She found me on Facebook and we just become friends. And she asked about life, about this and that. And so we become friends. And what's happened, her and her younger daughter here, but her older daughter and her mom was there, and her mom is 80. So they did whatever they can do to move. So right now they're finally in Lviv. But you like why I want map today, so you will understand how far everything. So Ukraine, basically, it's the size of Texas. If we will see like in a footage or whatever, but it's kind of spread like this. And do you understand how dangerous to take this decision to move, because they can bomb you anywhere?
Right.
They, like I said, why it's behind this war, and it's so much lie and so much not following even rules of the war. So basically, when they open time to people to go and find water or food, if people go out, they just shooting in civilians. So basically, some people who go in the car and try to go to the store, they would just burn in their own car, whole family. And it's not only one family. So what they doing, it's just, I don't have even words to express. In everything in the world, we have rules. If we it's something, it's people, they steal people and they need to survive somehow, even they're under building or even they're in subway. They need to use basic restroom
Right.
somewhere, or bring food, or I don't know. And when I look on what's going on there, and I see our people not even leave dogs, cats, they bring them in subways,
And they're down there, and that's where they are.
and they're killing our people.
So there are currently, I think, roughly the first number I heard was 1,500, and then the second number I heard was 15,000 people down in the subway stations trying to seek shelter. And they are the train companies have opened up and said that they will transport refugees. The challenge is that they can't get the trains in close to the Russian border to get the mass amount of people who are down and hiding in the train stations. So they're trying to get as close as they can to at least get the refugees out. So that is definitely a blessing that they opened up to do that. And there's several corporations that own trains as well that are also doing the same. So Poland is they're trying to help.
Yes, they help a lot. I'm
big time.
But did you see again what they doing? It's I can't find word in English. Maybe you help me.
Okay.
Do you know we have how it's a humiliation? But when people in a train, they bombing.
Yes.
They bombing in Kharkov. They were bombing because they
The
see
trains.
people started trains. I mean, me personally, war. It's soldiers against soldiers.
Right.
This is in my. I have no idea.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's not. They're not supposed to kill civilians.
It's not like this at all.
Right.
At all. It's worse. Even when we look back in 1941, 45, and this, it's so how to say it?
Unhuman?
It's inhumane.
Yeah,
It is. It's inhumane, but it is a very common trait for a dictator. This has
Exactly.
This has been the problem. This has been a problem and a challenge greatly for your country, because this has been who's been ruling Russia.
Yes.
I mean, we went for this problem, with Stalin, and then after Stalin, then you had the Nazis. I mean, it's an illness. They're mentally ill individuals to want to do this to human beings and to take other human beings because you want someone's land and you think it. I mean, imagine if you wanted your neighbor's house, and your neighbor's farmland. Would you, here in the United States, and someone walking over, with a bomb and just bombing your neighbors out of their house. You can't do it. I mean, there's laws, and there are NATO laws, and there's other laws that Putin is not following because he just doesn't care.
And you said today this word. I will try to say it again, but my English not perfect. But you said this word, and I feel it is how to say genocide.
Genocide. Yes.
It's
Mhm.
exactly what's going on. I can say for sure because I heard from my grandma. she did survive through a lot. And I heard from her, and she was 10 years old when Holodomor was. And she was in the war. And like I said, it's about to be human. She told me even Germans come to the house and just be people. They, because she was the kid and her mom, and they didn't do nothing for them. This is what's shown. We're still human. Even war, even we know behind each war, it's something. It's money. But you can run out of money eventually. But you will live. Your kids will live, and kids of your kids, and in your genes, in your blood, will run. And right now, many people realize how they will live after all this if their kids were sent to Ukraine to kill our civilians. Well, do you know what will be after? It will be very hard for those people as well to go after all. Also, sometimes when I go and speak anywhere, I ask if you can support somehow, because it will be very psychological, issues with people who
Oh,
will survive.
absolutely.
Very mental, it will be too much. I'm asking if you have any education, if you have any tools you can use to help after people to live after all this, because we can only imagine what they're going if we are so far away. But I know right now all world hear and feel this pain. I know it's hurting me so bad because I'm having family and friends, but all world feel this pain. It's about we need to be united. We need to be united for safety, because if we will let, like I said always, if we let right now him to take Ukraine, so which country will be next? This is why he trying to scare us with this nuclear weapon and stuff like this, because he tried to show this power. But who is in power? It's God. And I know God behind all this. Even at this time, you all need to realize it's all about our light, our inner light. We need to put it as much as we can. We need to put as much as we can love to each other, to Ukrainian people, to Russian people. It's hurt everyone in the world. Right now, we're all Ukrainians. I feel like right now, everybody in the world, Ukrainians, who at least saw news, hear something, or saw pictures. I see how I share on my Facebook page. My husband's life was saved in Ukraine, in my city, Kharkiv. We were in Ukraine in 2017, and he was surviving heart attack. So 2 stents made in USA was put in his heart in my city, Kharkiv. And we staying on this huge, biggest square in the Europe with him. And after I'm showing video how they bombed this place and city, what was behind us. Of course, it's killing me inside and hurting me so bad, because my city is beautiful. They put so much effort to make it beautiful city, parks and everything in all infrastructures. But what I say, we will rebuild, we will do it again. But right now we need to save as much people we can, as much souls as we can. So thank you for everyone. I'm thankful for City of Burleson because they're helping me. I'm thankful for each restaurant and each business. Let me put our QR code on their windows. Old Town Burleson, nobody ever said no to me. Only Starbucks said no. And I posted on Facebook, and it's just sad. It was sad, but it's their
Not
choice.
surprising.
Well,
Every-
let's just get everybody to have coffee wherever your QR
Somewhere
code
else.
is hanging
Please
up.
support
That's right.
Dwell, support, I don't know, QT, do whatever. Just let's do something. It was horrible. It hurt me so bad. And I was buying there. And
Well,
yes.
we're gonna post up a copy of the QR code onto our Joco Community Radio page. If you are watching online, or if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, then you can see the PayPal link that we just posted to where you can donate in any way that you want to. Just remember that every dollar helps. If you can only afford $1, donate $1.
Yes.
And if you can't afford to donate right now, please just hit your knees and be in prayer for them. Don't feel guilty that you can't give financially. There's other ways to give.
And
You
I
you can donate clothes. I know they're sending
Yes.
clothes over. They're sending any type of
military
non-perishables.
vests and hats,
Hats.
because right now what they did, like all civilians right now, they put together in like territorial I don't know how it's like safety teams, and so basically even they will give them guns. But can you imagine like if my relatives have no idea and never have a gun in their hands, even they will teach them for 15 minutes. But again, if you have gun but you don't have to cover your body, I don't know, it's hard to imagine, but they send in all this. Plus, if you have a chance, after this show, I will go straight. It's a store, UK style, on our Ukrainian Cultural Club office website and page. You can find. I will go right now and we will have. So basically, you can imagine people bring stuff, but we need to put them in the boxes and ship them. Also, UK style store, all procedures, what we buying online, going to Ukraine and helping our people. But we need help. Alona Jacobs, she's also from my home city, Kharkiv, who organized all this. But we need help her, because can you imagine all people bring stuff, but we need to organize and pack and go. So if you have time, I will leave right now from Joco Community Radio, which I love you guys. You are just amazing radio which support community. This is most important. As I said, we need to be united in anything. And I can take someone like a carpool in my car. If you just have time, I will tell you what to do. I will show you, because I'm going there and I will be there until, I don't know, we can help just do something as well.
How can people reach out to you directly if they want to help in any manner possible?
Yeah, you can text me. Don't call, because it's unknown calls many right now, but my phone is 817-991-3505. I can fit probably 5 to 6 people in my car with me.
And you're going to
If-
go over to Fort
Dallas,
to Dallas. Okay,
In
where the
Dallas,
club is.
yes.
Okay.
Because we collecting all stuff yesterday. Also, my home city friend and organizing our Veselka singing group, Oksana Toporina, she went to the store to buy boots, military boots for our soldiers, and we bought 10, and this guy donated 10. It's amazing. This is again showing us how we can be united, and it's right now it's about saving lives.
Absolutely. For those of you who are watching via one of the social media avenues, the QR code is posted up in the right-hand corner. It's very small, but I'm pretty sure you can make the screen bigger. And again, we'll post this QR code directly onto the Joco Community Radio Facebook page, so that you can get it there. We'll also post it onto Twitter, and we did have it up on the screen in a larger format here. So if you go back and watch and pause it, that QR code is there, and it will take you right to where you can donate financially. Again, if you would like to help in other ways, that's packing the clothes, separating, doing and organizing, then please text Natalia directly and let her know that you want to help, and she'll give you direction on where to go or how to get there. 817-991-3505. And if you want to know more about what this cause does, what the Ukrainian Club does, and you can also get to the donation from their website as well. We also have that posted up as well, and that is the ukrainianclub.org. It's ukrainianclub.org, and the club is out of Dallas, but Natalia lives here in Burleson, and I just want to read this really quick, as this tells you about what the Cultural Club of Dallas does. We are a group of passionate volunteers who love Ukrainian culture and traditions. We dedicate our efforts to promoting and showcasing Ukrainian arts, music, and dance, organizing Ukrainian cultural events, supporting cultural family-friendly activities, educating interested youth and adults in folklore arts. You know what I love about this is that so many people, when they go and do their ancestry, of which I've done my DNA test. So I have ancestry in Poland and the Ukrainian area. I couldn't tell you where it is right now without looking at a map, and I didn't pull it back up. And so having a club like this, or even know that it exists, it gives an opportunity to go back and learn about your ancestry and the history. And to be honest, I did not remember ever learning about the Holodomor in school. I don't recall ever learning about that. You learned about Stalin and what Stalin did, and so interesting, because as I'm driving in, my son is with me this morning, my 11-year-old, because he's got a doctor's appointment, and he goes, "Well, you know why Stalin died, right?" And I mean, this is some of the things I learned. He goes, "That's because he sent his own doctors off to prison camps, and so when he had a stroke, there was no good doctors there to save his life, and he died." And I just looked at my son. I went, I'm just so pleased that you remember that. So we have to know that the education of our history is so important. And this is the history, world history, our own history. You can't change it. You can't hide it. You have to talk about it, because our kids are paying attention. They're paying attention. They're learning and they're listening. So we can't stop teaching true history, true world history, and true history of our own nation. It's super important. I just have to tell you again, thank you. I just love that your club is not just focused, that they didn't launch up and say, okay, we're going to raise money to constantly send back over to Ukraine. You're actually raising money. You've been raising money to keep our own country from having starvation, from the people who don't have food. You guys give to some great causes. And do you want to talk about some of that? I wanted to, I'm trying to get down to
I will invite you all as well. Like, many people ask, what can we do on Sundance Square this Friday, 5 to 6:30. We will be there. We're asking to bring those LED candles, and we will just pray, and we will just sing Ukrainian songs, and everything we do here, it's all peaceful rallies or meetings, because we are for peace. It's
5 to 6:30 p.m. at Sundance Square?
5 to 6:30. It's our time on the stage, but after we will be there. It will be some kind of concert, I think it's 7, but we will be there. If if you can come later, come later. I know many people will stand over there. Many people ask me, I don't have Ukrainian flag. Guys, bring American flag, bring Canadian flag, Russian flag. We are all united. By the Tarrant County Court on Sunday, I didn't expect this many people. We are blessed. Everybody stand up with us. It was different flags. It was all my neighbors came, all my friends, my American friends, Armenian, Azerbaijan. I mean, this is what we try to show. We need to be united for peace. That's it. We don't hate. We don't do. It's already happened, but we need to stop war. We need to stop Putin. We need to stop war and killing innocent people there. This is only our message. It's our relatives there, our families there. I bring also a couple pictures just to show you. So my mom is here. It's my baby. We will live in Ukraine until my son turns like 1 and 8 months. So it's his first birthday. So all other friends and family still there.
You have a very beautiful family.
My family is beautiful, and I'm just praying so they just survive. My only prayers to God, just so people survive.
That's it. That's what we got to do.
Make like a photo collage.
Yeah,
and
we could
maybe
put this all
attach
up
it or something. I'm going to try.
Absolutely. What do you think it's going to take to get Putin to stop? What do you do? Do you have any ideas as to what?
Tiffany, do you know what I will tell you? When before all this happened, we met with my American friends. We were in the restaurant, and my mom was there, and they say, "Do you think Putin will, do?" And I say, "No." We didn't believe. We didn't believe it will happen. So every day, like when I try to sleep, probably this night was like most sleep I have. You know how we live right now? You need to find if they're still alive, because where my mom's husband live right now, no electricity, no water, no heat. And it's a winter, my friends. It's a winter. It's very cold. My family, this is also my family, my aunt and uncle and her son and very, very old lady neighbor. They right now underground. Do you know where they save the vegetables in the winter? They save the pickle stuff. They all right now over there. But do you understand? It's very cold. They all get sick. It's just hard to.
What's the current temperature there right now?
I
this is deep into the winter, right?
Yes.
And so hats and gloves, scarves, extra socks, boots, anything like that you can donate. The money that you donate, that will go towards that as well, to make sure everybody has proper clothing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people really did. I mean, when you're fleeing a country, you're not, packing up your whole house and able to leave. It's not like that. It's get what you can and what you need and go.
Yeah. Also,
if you're able to do that.
Exactly. Some people just grab documents and leave. And also on our Dallas Ukrainian Culture Club on Facebook page, and me personally, we always update it what we need, because sometimes it's too much of we update it. So you can check on our Facebook page what at this point we need, because right now some of my friends and me, we will bring stuff what we have for now, and we will start to put. But also some help can be, for example, this is the store, right? So she can give you material home, so you can cut. For example, to create Ukrainian flag, we need to cut those pieces, right? So you can take home, cut it home, and bring next day, because it's a store, So or towels. Can you reach this one? Ukrainian people very, very, I don't know, peaceful, and we always meet people with lots of food. And see this, it's called rushnik. So it's those towels. They also
like an apron.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not apron.
It's just
like
a towel.
It's like a towel, but we're holding always bread on it. I have in my car. I didn't want to bring a lot of stuff. I have everything, because every time I leave from Ukraine, my friends and family give me something, and so I have. One day you will come to my home, and I have like little museum of Ukraine in my house.
But I love that. I grew up in New Jersey, so I grew up, in a very diverse cultural location of the country. And one of my best friends was Polish, and his grandparents lived with the parents, and which is all very normal. It's very normal to have multiple generations living in one home, and they didn't speak English.
Mhm.
Mom and dad didn't speak English much when you came to the house either, but you knew they were there because I could smell the stuffed cabbage cooking, and
Yeah.
and the history of Poland was everywhere in their home. And what I didn't get to do, because I was a kid, was to hear their history of growing up there and living there, and it wasn't always good. So just give everybody an idea, because we've got 50
Yeah.
seconds left. It's 34 degrees in Kiev currently right now, and that's kind of warm, because this isn't going to be a week like we go through here in Dallas. It's in the 30s for a long time. So again, please reach out and help. Go to the ukraineclub.org. Come to our Facebook page for Joco Community Radio, and hit that QR code and donate. Contact Natalia directly. Text
Yes.
her if you want to help in other ways by organizing. Again, you can text her at 817-991-3505. Thank you, Natalia, for
Thank you
sharing
so
your
much.
story.
Thank you.
We'll definitely have you back, and we'll be praying for you and your family and everyone in Ukraine.
Thank you.
God bless you guys.
God bless.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog.
I'm Wilford Brimley for Loafing Dog. You know, when I get the hankering for a hot dog, I go to Cleveland, Texas. It's off the square, they got Loafing Dog. They got the Neely Dog, the Mary Sunshine Dog, the Casey Dog, and the Shirley Dog. Why, they even got the Pacer Dog, the Brooklyn